make a brief video, and I ask that y'all consider what I'm fixing to say. I do want to say that I'm not speaking prophetically right now. I don't claim to be telling you something that the Lord has told me directly. Nothing like that. I'm not setting a date or anything of the sort. Nothing like that. So I ask that you completely understand what I just said before I move on. But I do believe what I'm fixing to say is very interesting. I do believe it's something to consider. And if nothing else, God is not the author of confusion. And when I've thought about this on a couple of occasions, and I really feel the presence of the Lord when I do. So, I've had a number of rapture dreams and visions, and just over the years, God has shown me some things regarding that event that I know we look forward to. But there's a very interesting detail within those dreams and visions that I want to share with you in just a moment, and you'll see why. So I found out yesterday that my job that I've been at for a while now is moving 2 hours down the road, and I simply cannot make that commute every day. It's not happening immediately, but it will happen by the end of this year, maybe November, December. It's supposed to happen by then, and I simply can't follow the job that far away. So when I found that out yesterday, I was of course discouraged and thinking about it and everything. And so I was continuing with my work. I was at work at the time that what I'm fixing to tell you happened. I was at work and I had a video playing in the background. I was passively listening to it. It was really just background noise to me. And it was, of course, gospel-related things of Jesus, just playing in the background. I wasn't giving it direct attention. I was really still thinking about the fact that my job was packing up and moving down the road. But something very fascinating to me happened in that moment when I was listening to that video passively, and I heard the preacher say this. He said, "Where will you be when Jesus comes back?" And when he asked that question, he was asking it within the context of the rapture. Again, he said, "Where will you be when Jesus comes back? Will you be at church? Will you be at work? Will you be here or there?" And when he's asking these questions, when he said, "Will you be at work?" It immediately got my attention, and I looked over at it and I paused it and I'm like, what did he say? And it's as if the Lord was reminding me of my dreams and visions, because every dream and every vision that I've had about the rapture took place while I was at work. And the reason that's significant is because that job goes away by the end of this year. Now, if the fact that I was at work every time I had a dream or a vision about the rapture is significant, then that tells me one thing, man, that the rapture has to happen before the end of this year. And man, even right now when I talk about it, I feel the presence of the Lord. Man, I don't even know what to say. I feel the Lord so much right now. But I wanted to share that with you because, again, I'm not prophesying right now. I'm not speaking to you something that God has been speaking into my life or anything like that. I'm just telling you about my experiences. Now, I will say the dreams and the visions that I had that I'm speaking of, they were prophetic. They were from the Lord. And again, I was at work every time that I had a dream or a vision of the rapture. But again, when that man said, "Where will you be when Jesus comes back? Will you be at church? Will you be at work?" When I heard him say, "Will you be at work?" I quickly remembered the dreams and the visions that I've had about the rapture. And the thing that stuck out to me immediately was the fact that I was at work when it happened. Then I thought, man, my job ends at this place in 6 months or less. And if those visions are significant in respect to those details, which they may not be. Sometimes God will give a vision and certain details are insignificant details in respect to what it is he's wanting to say. But I'm thinking, man, what if? Because if that part of each of those dreams and visions are significant, then man, we're going home and we're going home this year. And I really hope it's the case, man. I was so overwhelmed and excited about that thought process that I called home, and the presence of the Lord was on me so heavy. When I called home, my wife picked up the phone, and I said, "Do you feel the presence of the Lord through the phone?" And she probably thought I was crazy, but she was like, I guess so. And I told her what it was that I saw and what it was that I felt like the Lord might have been showing me, man. And that might not be the case at all. The rapture might be 3 years away. I don't know what to tell you for sure, but I do know this. One more time, let me tell you that, man, every dream and vision I've had, I was at work, and that job ends at the end of this year. I'd like to think that specific detail about me being at that job when the rapture happens is true, because if it is, we are going home this year. And I ask that you pray and be encouraged. And of course, we hope that it is this year. Anybody with any real sense wants to be with Jesus. But if it's not, stay encouraged and keep your eyes on the sky, because the Lord is coming quickly, no matter how you look at it. I love you in Jesus' name.